It's just a statue, and statues don't move. Yet you sit on a nearby bench, waiting and watching. The story is a little silly when you actually think about it in broad daylight. A statue that can move, go for a little stroll, and even dance down the street. But at night, with the shadows moving across its face, well, the idea of it blinking or even seeing a subtle movement feels a little bit more likely. So you continue the vigilant watch, just hoping to catch a glimpse of something even remotely paranormal from the famous statue of Benjamin Franklin. I'm Bree.
And I'm Christiana,
Get ready to visit Philadelphia.
because you're about to hear something strange.
Welcome to episode 49.
There we go.
It doesn't take much to distract me. Haunted Tales of
That's
Philadelphia.
perfect.
Okay, so before we get into the sources, as you lovely people can probably hear, the audio is probably going to be a little bit different on this one. If you're watching, you can see that we're in places.
Yes.
I'm
I'm in
visiting.
my
Good.
Oh, go ahead.
You're in your
I
book
have a
nook.
I have a book nook now.
She does. It's beautiful. I'm
Thank you.
visiting family in North Carolina, so I am currently 8.5 hours away.
Yet we still see each other.
Yes. So let's jump into our sources. We have Philly Ghosts at the Eerie History of Washington Square. We have a couple of things from the Philly Ghosts website. There's an article
Ooh.
on the ghost of Benjamin Franklin, the Betsy, the Betsy Ross house, the
Ooh.
haunted, I think it's Belroy Mansion. I think that's how that's said.
Yeah, Baleroy. Yeah.
Yeah. A Britannica article, Benjamin Franklin, Haunted Rooms, Philadelphia's Most Haunted Locations, Philly Injury Law, PC, had a article on haunted places in Philadelphia.
Okay.
History.com, Philadelphia.
Good old history. We love it.
Yes. Not talking about aliens, talking about ghosts instead.
Ghosts.
And so I chose to do this particular city, the hauntings of it, for the month 4th of July is in,
Oh, true.
which
Okay.
is why it's my July
No, I
episode.
love that. I love
Um,
that.
so we have some trigger warnings. I'm sure I didn't get all of them. And that's death, murder, death from illness, discussion on the conditions at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Ayo.
I didn't even know how to label that.
Weird and
Um,
unsettling.
child death. There is a brief mention to enslaved people as well.
Okay.
I did not go into every single haunted location in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I think that would be a 8-hour episode.
This is just a little sampling, and even the ones that I went into, I did not go deep into because it's a little sampling of a bunch of different places that could be their own episodes easily.
Makes sense.
What do you know about? Are there any of the famous haunted places in Philly that you have been to or know about or anything like that?
So I know I went to Philadelphia with my father and my grandmother a long time ago, but I don't remember much about that trip. However, more recently, I did go, this was a couple years ago, and I went with, can we say her name on the pod? It's the friend that we went to see Hadestown with.
That's a question between you and your friend.
I
She's
feel
my
like,
friend too.
yeah, I feel like I'm trying to remember if I've said her name. I'm not going to, just in case I haven't.
She's been
Um,
on our Instagram.
She has been on our Instagram, that's true. But we went to Philly for something else, and while we were there, we toured the Eastern State
Hmm.
Pen, which was really, really fascinating and really, really scary at moments.
You know how like correlation does not equal causation?
Right.
Both times I have been to Eastern State have been with people I am no longer dating or in relationships with.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
I'm not saying it was the person's fault.
It was the ghost.
It was the ghost.
It was Al Capone's ghost.
It was. He's like,
He said no.
wouldn't that be funny?
Al Capone just followed you home and went, girl, no. That'd be frightening.
That would be kind of hilarious. Um,
Would be.
didn't they like get him on tax evasion? Isn't that how they brought him in?
I think it was something like that. It was something like kind of benign. They knew he was doing horrible stuff, but they couldn't like 100% nail him, but they did get him on something weird.
Because they couldn't pin him for the mob stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, any knowledge about ghosts in particular in Philly, or is just you're gonna find
Not
out?
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. I mean, I know there's like all sorts of stuff that apparently does go on at Eastern State Penn from the tour that I
Mm.
went on, just because the wild stuff that happened there.
Hmm.
But don't know much beyond that. Makes
Okay.
sense, it's haunted.
Yeah. All right. So I thought we would kind of dive into the spooky parts of one of the most important cities in the American Revolution. But I'm going to start by giving us a little bit of background on the city of Philadelphia up until about like from it being founded up until about the time of the Spanish flu.
Okay.
So this is a TLDR. We are not going horribly in depth here. So Philadelphia means the city of brotherly love, which is kind of funny when you think about how they react to their sports teams doing anything.
Yeah. I like how you phrase that. Doing anything, correct.
It doesn't matter if they win or lose, there's going to be a riot. It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
sports team it is either.
it doesn't. They're gonna go nuts.
I have very limited knowledge of sports and sports things, but I know that it doesn't matter if they win or lose, there's still going to be a riot.
Yep. Philadelphia Eagles, and then the what's the baseball team?
It's the names and it's the Phillies.
Oh, it's the Phillies. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I know nothing about sports either.
I know most of my family is Philadelphia sports team
Oh,
fans.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, except for my dad, he's a Pirates fan, which is the baseball team out
That's
in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, right? Yeah,
Mm.
okay.
It's
There
everyone is Eagles
my
fans.
my mother is a major, she can't stand the Eagles. I sidebar, I love listening to my mom. I don't watch football. I love listening to my mom watch football because she gets so gently riled up about what the team is doing, and it's precious to me.
I don't understand it. Know I know more about baseball than football.
Yeah, I think if I were going to get into a sport, it would be more likely like baseball,
I know.
probably. Yeah,
Anyways,
awesome. Anyway,
so
sports.
City of Brotherly Love.
City of Brotherly Love.
They will beat you up.
Yes.
I should take that out as siblings do.
Yeah, yes,
So
exactly.
originally, this area was settled by Native American tribes, specifically the Lenape, starting around the year 8000 BCE or BC, depending on your system. This is
Hmm.
not the first time the Lenape people have come up in our podcast. They come up a lot
It's not. They do. Yeah.
because I think because we talk about history of places and we do a lot of Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
All right, so we're going to jump forward in time just a little bit to the 1600s,
Okay.
Common Era.
Common era.
So by the early part of the 1600s, merchants from the Netherlands, England, and Sweden had established trading posts in the Delaware Valley area, which is where Philadelphia is. In 1681, Charles II of England granted a charter to William Penn for the area that would later become the Pennsylvania colony. He, Penn, arrived in what was the new city of Philadelphia in 1682. He was a Quaker pacifist and signed a treaty with Lenape chief Ta Tamanend. I apologize if that's wrong. From
That
my
looks
un
right.
from my understanding, Quaker theology was very much against slavery. They were very, very pacifist. I think that's one where like everyone's called like brothers or friends. I think that everyone's called friends.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know as much about the Quakers.
I don't know a
I
whole
know,
lot other than they seem kind of chill.
yeah. I believe the Puritans did not like them very much.
Pure doesn't like anyone.
Correct. Someday we'll do an episode about the witch trials, specifically the Salem witch trials.
Fun. Okay. So once again, Mr. Penn, William Penn was like pretty chill of like, no, everyone can coexist here. Like, signed a treaty with our Lenape friends. They were very much against slavery. So, anyways, shit hit the fan. Things got stirred up. In 1684, a ship carrying hundreds of enslaved people from Africa arrived in the city of Philadelphia, or the port of Philadelphia. This led to a lot of tension, especially from the Quaker residents, because they were like, hey, we're not cool with this, and we founded the city.
Yeah,
This led to the Germantown Petition Against Slavery being formed in 1688. According to my sources, this was the first organized protest against slavery in the New World.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Good for them.
go Quakers.
Go Quakers.
I need to learn more about their theology before I say that, probably.
Oh, that was a good move. We can say for certain that was a
Good job.
correct move. Good job there.
As time went on, the colony of Pennsylvania thrived, and the city of Philadelphia ended up hosting the largest shipbuilding center in all of the colonies. Philadelphia, Philadelphia, the sky gods do not, the southern sky gods are like, stop talking about Philadelphia.
Our
Phil-
Southern friends, we love you.
Philadelphia was a major point in the American Revolution, and the Declaration of Independence was signed in what is now called Independence Hall. The city was also a rallying point for Union forces during the American Civil War. See, the ghosts knew that.
They did.
And the shipbuilding capacities of the city supplied Allied forces in World War One. Philly was also hit really hard during the Spanish flu epidemic. All right, so that was a little bit of a brief history that gets us up into the turn of the 1900s,
Okay.
turn of the 20th century.
Yeah,
Yeah, time is weird.
time is weird indeed.
Are you ready for some haunted locations?
I'm always ready for some haunted locations. Let's go.
Let's start with Washington Square. This is a pretty supposedly majorly haunted area. Washington Square has a varied history and was originally established in 1682, so pretty much when the city was.
Okay.
Originally, it was called Southeast Square and contained about 6.4 acres. This is now
Okay.
considered to be part of the Independence National Historical Park, which is kind of taken care of by the National Park Service.
Okay.
So let's hop into the mid 18th century. This area held many different purposes, from livestock grazing areas to the center of quickly growing communities. However, the history around this was not all positive, especially for African American communities who experienced, and I quote, harsh living conditions and exploitation, and they did not give any further information.
Yeah, we could probably read into that.
You ready to talk about the American Revolution?
All right. Farmers fighting British soldiers.
Yep. So the Revolutionary War also brought a lot of misfortune to this area, and it became a mass grave
Ooh,
because there were some battles and forts near Philadelphia.
yeah.
The remains of both soldiers and civilians were brought to this area, and part of it was an attempt to prevent disease from spreading. According to one of the Philly ghost sources, the site became a mass grave, accommodating the dead from various conflicts and epidemics, including the devastating yellow fever outbreaks. The use of the land did not stop with the Revolutionary War and continued to be a burial place for those who didn't have other means. So I basically took from this it was a pauper's cemetery.
Cemetery. Yeah.
There's a tomb of the unknown Revolutionary War soldier. The city council decided to erect a monument to soldiers and sailors of the Revolutionary War in 1954. This monument contains remains of an unknown soldier who was unearthed during archaeological exploration of the park.
Oh
Then
boy.
in it's a good way to get ghosts.
Yeah.
Then in 1956, crews were given permission to search for another maybe unknown soldier and came across many different remains that, according to my source, help provide additional information about Philly's past because grave sites and like trash dumps give a lot of archaeological information.
It does make sense. It, you know,
Yeah.
it's gonna give you an idea of the people that were there and
Mhm.
what their lifestyles were like. And
So, one of the most famous ghosts in the square is the spirit of Leah. She is allegedly an old Quaker woman seen wearing a long black coat.
ooh,
At the time Leah originally lived, body snatching was becoming a major challenge. Because it was a pauper cemetery, they could kind of just snag things.
yeah.
She took it upon herself to stop it.
Oh my goodness. That didn't
She,
go where I thought it was going to.
well, she did this by like she wouldn't like, go after the people doing the snatching. She would just alert the guards by screaming or whistling.
Oh, okay.
And she just never stopped.
Oh, that's horrifying. So you
So
could
she
just hear her screaming at night still?
or see
Or,
her or
ooh,
it says that her spirit continues to patrol the ground to this day. So I don't know if they're actually hearing her or if they're just seeing a woman in a long black. coat.
Just making sure those people are still protected.
Mm.
I
She's
kind of
kind of
like
nice.
Leah. Yeah, kind of like her. She's a little scary, but I kind of like her.
Sometimes that's just how it is.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for the ghost of Benjamin Franklin?
Oh, am I?
So he's another returning character because he showed up.
A couple times
Jersey
now.
Devil.
Yep, Jersey Devil. Did he show up in Timmy D?
I
He,
wonder if not tangentially, if nothing else.
yeah, he might have been in Timmy D's
Oh, his little
statue
monument
garden.
garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then he had the newspaper fight with more. Were they Quakers too? No,
Uh,
for Jersey Devil.
oh, I don't remember.
There's just
I
a
don't
big
remember.
lightning. I'm waiting for it to. Anyways, there it is.
You did it finally just
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Benjamin Franklin. And give us just a quick TLDR of who this person was.
yeah,
So
famous guy in history.
he is famous. He was born January 17th of 1706, depending on the calendar you use. Apparently, it was recorded as January 6th under the old Julian calendar, but updated to January 17th with the adoption of the Gregorian calendar.
Oh, okay.
And he died April 17th of 1790.
Okay.
He was one of the founding fathers of America and the American Revolution. And he was an author, inventor, scientist, publisher, and diplomat. He assisted in drafting the Declaration of Independence and was a signer of it. He also acted as a diplomatic representation of the US to France during the Revolution, and he is known for his writing and works with the understanding of electricity.
Yes.
A quick little who was Ben Franklin?
Our good friend Ben.
Our good friend Ben. All right, so ready for the spooky stuff with our good friend Ben?
I am.
All right. So there's a statue of him at the American Philosophical Society, which might have been also a library. It's still
Oh,
there.
cool.
It's
That
still there.
sounds like a library.
Yeah, it's still there. So there's supposedly cold spots and flickering lights, even reports of the statue coming to life, and I quote, dancing in the streets of Philadelphia,
I
as
just
one
imagine
does.
him, as one does. I just imagine him like very much like singing in the rain style, skipping down the street with his like taking his top hat off and like clicking his heels.
I imagine the Gavotte.
Yeah, yes, that too.
It also apparently steps off of its stone pedestal to walk towards Franklin's old home or towards the taverns he used to frequent.
I too would walk towards a tavern, I think.
Statue would be like, I need a drink. There's,
I'm thirsty. And there might be, I love tavern food. I'll be
yeah,
honest, tavern and pub food is it's real good. So I too would walk towards a tavern if I were a statue.
he's gonna walk and get a cheesesteak.
Oh,
And then he's
yes.
gonna go walk to a tavern and get some fries.
Perfect. And you got to get a cheesesteak out of one of the like carts on the street.
Oh yeah, he'd have
Then
to
you
go
know it's
to,
real.
yeah, either it's Pat's or Gino's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
It's a whole fight. He's get one of each just to keep it even.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he doesn't want to start any fights in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia starts fights without him, it's fine.
The sports teams do this enough.
All right. A library employee reported to be knocked over by a ghostly individual who allegedly looked a lot like Benjamin Franklin.
Oh,
Can you imagine that? Like, I just got pushed out of the way by good old Ben.
I'd I think I'd be kind of offended. I'd be like, "Wow, Father of
Dude,
America,
like,
one of the founding fathers is no manners.
slow the F down.
This is a library.
This is
Stop
a
running around.
library. We don't run in libraries.
Sir, this is a Wendy's."
He's also said to haunt Independence Hall, along with the ghost of Benedict Arnold.
Oh,
I bet there's fistfights there.
yeah. They're just standing in opposite bleh. They're just standing in opposite corners of the hall, just glaring at each other.
Throwing hands, Philadelphia style. All
Oh
right.
boy.
So we're gonna move from Mr. Franklin to the Betsy Ross house.
Alrighty.
So who is Betsy Ross? This is a quiz.
She was the creator of the first American flag.
Yep. She was a seamstress, a Philadelphia seamstress, and a upholsterer. How do you say that? Upholsterer?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Upholsterer.
Okay.
It's a weird word.
Upholsterer. Like you said, most commonly known for creating the first American flag during the Revolution. There's a whole lot more history about her life. I believe the Betsy Ross House website has like a lot of the full details of her life. So,
Okay,
according to my sources, it's unknown if she actually lived in that house or if it was maybe like a place of employment, like that's where she did her business out of. I
sure.
didn't double check that. She was born on New Year's Day in 1752.
Oh, cool.
And she also, along with creating the first American flag, also made different items for the Continental Army, like tents and that type of other linens.
Okay.
Alleged hauntings of the house. So, to get into that, I'm gonna have to tell a little true crime story.
Ooh,
That
okay.
does not sound true, but I could not find anything saying it was false.
Huh.
In 1980, an altercation took place between two security guards in the basement of the gift shop. One individual, trigger warning, one individual shot the other 3 times, then left him there overnight to die. Visitors have claimed to hear disembodied voices in this area ever since.
I mean, makes sense.
It doesn't sound real to me, that's the thing, but I couldn't find anything saying it was false. So maybe,
I Yeah, I'd want to know more, like what happened to call, like why would two security guards, assuming two security guards of this place,
yeah.
turn on each other all of a sudden? That just
Well,
sounds odd.
1980s makes it harder to fake things from, I'd say, that era. Like if it was 1903.
Right.
So let's move our little journey to the parlor where Betsy Ross met with the flag committee. Supposedly, this area has a foreboding feeling. That's all there is. People have claimed to hear rustling sounds in the basement also.
Okay. Makes
Uh,
sense if they were moving fabric around.
more bodies.
Like, yeah, well,
So let's move to the director's office. This is located in the attic. It's said to be haunted. A former director reported being grabbed on the shoulder by an unseen force. And then this scared her so much that she climbed out the window and onto the flagpole to get away.
it's me. It was me.
She's like, not today, Satan. Do you know who TAPS is? Ghost Hunters?
Something Atlantic Paranormal Society? Is it just the Atlantic
I
Paranormal
forget.
Society?
It's the, yeah. You're right. So they did an investigation in the Betsy Ross house.
Okay.
And they reported voices throughout the house, including a man's moan coming from the basement. And I don't like that.
No.
And a male voice was allegedly captured in the director's office, but it was too muffled to make out.
Okay, I have a theory. I have a theory it was a bunch of women, including Betsy. And they were just in their little sewing circle and they just got so sick of their husbands like just interrupting them that they threw them in the basement and then the guys were like, "Oh, let us
What is
out."
that?
They're like, "Nope, we're sewing. We're sewing."
Leave us alone.
I can say this with 100% certainty as a seamstress myself, sewist, whatever you want to call me. If anyone interrupts me when I've got a seam ripper in my hand, that's a bad time.
Did
So
they
they could
mur
have just,
did they
huh?
murder them?
Maybe with the seam ripper.
So you might be wondering, where is the ghost of Betsy Ross? Supposedly she's also in the basement.
Oh, why are you in the basement, girl?
Let's get sadder. People have reported to see a woman crying at the foot of a bed in the basement, and it's thought to be her because she did lose, I would say, at least one husband. She might have been married more than once.
The
But
first one
she
she killed because he interrupted her while ripping seams.
gets tears of joy. But she lost her husband, and this is not as funny, like one of her daughters.
Oh,
So they
sad.
think it's her, like always mourning, like an eternal mourning kind of thing for.
Oh, that's horrible. Thinking of her stuck in that cycle.
Hmm. If it's even her.
If it's even her. Yeah.
So the Bela Mansion, this building was constructed in 1911, and much of the information surrounding its hauntings is connected to or told by the Easbys, which is the second inhabitants of the building. However,
Okay.
they moved into the building when it already kind of had quite a story. So They moved in 1925. According to my sources, though, the initial owners were a couple, and I quote, the husband snapped and murdered his wife.
Oh, good. Okay.
Mhm. So the
We love
Easby,
those stories.
yeah, yeah. So
And
the
I'd
East,
say that sarcastically.
that's all the information I have. I could have dug deeper, but this was either going to be a hour episode
Yeah.
or a 4 hour episode
Right.
because this mansion could be its own topic too.
I was actually gonna ask him. I've never heard of this mansion, but
I
that does
have.
make sense.
Well,
Oh, have
and
you?
part of the reason that I'm keeping these a little bit more surface level is if we would decide to jump further into them, they would all make pretty good extra fourth Friday of the month episodes.
Yeah, yeah, poll episodes.
Hmm. So
Poll episodes, if you
the
will.
whole episodes, the Easby family was a well-to-do Pennsylvania institute, and they also had notable ancestors like General George Meade.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Just him.
just when the family moved in, they had two young sons whose names were Meade
That
and Stevie.
that sounds like a band. Like just Mead and Stevie.
Stevie and Meade.
Stevie and
Um,
Mead.
so we're getting into another trigger warning. Tragedy soon occurred, however. Shortly after moving into the building, Stevie became obsessed with the mansion's fountain to the point
Oh,
the family was worried because he would just stare at the fountain for hours. I don't know if he was actually just watching the fountain, if he was looking at his reflection and pulling like a narcissist kind of thing, or
yeah.
like
Well,
the
these
Greek
were
legend.
pretty young kids.
I'm not sure on the ages.
Okay.
But he would just stare at the fountain for hours. Mead had a vision of his brother's reflection in the fountain turning into a skeleton.
Oh,
So, via my source, one day after spending an extended amount of time looking at a photograph of the fountain, Stevie passed away due to a blood clot in his brain. The source kind of made it sound like the family thought the blood clot was from staring at the photo for so long.
huh.
I don't
And
think
this
that's how that
was
works.
what year was this again?
It was in the probably like 1920s.
Okay.
Maybe 1930s,
Okay.
probably 1920s.
It's yeah, I just scrolled back up. 1925 was when
Uh,
they moved into the
yeah,
residence.
and I said not
So it
long
could have been after.
after, so it could have been the mid to late 20s.
So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
I could understand. I thought that was going to go a completely different
he was gonna
direction.
drown.
Yeah. It's just odd. Like I could understand a tiny baby being fascinated by a fountain to stare at it like that just because oh, moving water, little ones like, just get interested
Yeah,
in that kind of thing, but
I mean,
if you
there's kind of three routes we can go there. One is the supernatural route that there was something about the fountain that was cursed or possessed. If you
Ooh,
guys can hear it, it's we are getting a thunderstorm, so I apologize sound wise. So yeah, like supernatural. Second would be maybe there's some like very, very intense neurospiciness going on, depending on level of functionality, if there was kind of an autism type
okay, sure.
situation, uh, you know what I mean? Or if there was
Yeah,
some kind of cognitive or intellectual, like he might have been a 7-year-old boy and might have had the mentality of a 3-year-old. I don't know.
true. Yeah.
The other thing is maybe there was some kind of psychosis, which doesn't
Okay.
happen often in kids, but depending on if he was exposed to certain diseases at the time, that'll affect the brain, depending on like what medications. Like here, you have a toothache, have some codeine.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'd give him opium for a tummy ache.
So,
That's true.
but either
Oh, that's
way,
odd.
he very
I guess.
unfortunate. Oh, good.
Oh, sorry, I just thought of this too, like with the blood clot, if something was building, like I hate to talk about it in such clinical terms, but if this blood clot was building up in his brain slowly,
He could have
I
had some,
wonder if
yeah.
that could have even been like some kind of symptom of that. Just really sad.
So let's kind of go back to Mead.
Okay.
So Mead grew up to be a relatively well-known artist and actor, and he lived into the
Oh,
mansion until he passed away in 2005.
okay.
Side note, he must have been rather up there.
Yeah. if he was well, they moved into the mansion in 25.
Hmm.
So let me think. I'm just gonna use that date as he might have been a little older than this, but 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 5, 85, 95. So 80, at least 80 years old.
Hmm.
If I just did that right.
Because 25 to 35 to 45 to 55 to 65 to 75 to 85 to 95 to 05, yeah, would be at least 80. And so I'm thinking
Yeah.
he was probably between 80 and 90,
Yeah, I'd say that's a good bet,
or even maybe a little older, depending on how old he was. Uh,
right?
According to Mead, one of the many resident ghosts was his brother Stevie, and it makes me wonder if that's why he stayed.
Yeah. Wanted to make sure his family was okay.
And the spirit seemed to be wandering near the fountain.
Huh. I don't know that I love that fountain.
That's why I wonder if the fountain's cursed.
Yeah. Even if it's not the fountain's not cursed, it just seems like that was such a pivotal moment in that child's life and not in a good way. Just I don't know that I love that fountain.
Yeah. And the spirit of Stevie was not only seen by Mead, but by when they bring like restoration crews and things in, and just like workers on the residence would see
Okay,
the spirit of Stevie.
sure.
But Stevie is not the only spirit activity.
Okay.
So Mead was a very big car collector, and all of his automobiles, other possessions, a lot of them were auctioned off after he passed away. But people still report seeing antique cars.
Oh, they've got some Christine going on this property.
Apparently. There's also another really well-known haunted item in this mansion, and it is in the Blue Room, which is a drawing room. It got its name from a brilliant blue antique chair.
Okay.
As you can guess, the chair is probably the center of the story.
Yeah. What's going on with this chair?
So it's a 200-year-old upholstered chair, and there's a legend that makes me never want to be in the same room as this chair personally.
Oh, good. Okay.
Apparently, anyone who sits in it dies shortly afterwards.
I think they should get rid of that chair.
And if it just shows back up like a possessed doll.
Burn the house down.
So, a housekeeper who worked for Mead and a museum curator both allegedly died 2 weeks after sitting in the chair.
Hmm.
This chair prompted me to hire several psychics to investigate it. One of them alleged that there was a vengeful spirit of a woman named Amelia who haunted the chair. Don't know who Amelia was. I didn't find much backstory other than I believe maybe their mother used to collect antiques and she found this chair and this chair had a little friend attached to it.
Ugh. That's kind of crazy that this was like during that time. This isn't like modern day, like, oh, we went to investigate. Like he had in the 19, presumably at this point, like 30s or 40s,
It
maybe a little past that.
depends. I don't know when he took over ownership of the house too, so it might have been more 80s, 90s.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's true.
It could have it's anywhere from 25 until 2005.
Yeah, that's true. Don't have a timeline. That's interesting though that he specifically wanted that chair checked out. He's like
Mhm.
something is shady with that chair.
Well, and I imagine one of the people must have, like the housekeeper, it must have been after the housekeeper passed away.
Yeah.
And then years later, another psychic was so hit by fright that she told him to sage it immediately.
Oh, well, maybe do that.
And that concludes our tour of the Baylor Roy Mansion.
Do you know if the mansion is like open for tours today?
I don't know. I think it might
Or if
be.
it's- Oh, cool. Okay.
I'm not going in the chair.
No, I don't even think I want to go in that room.
If
I
I'll wait
might look at
outside.
it from the doorway.
I'll wait outside, thank you.
Yeah.
It might also be like some historic places like the Whaley House in San Diego. You could not go in most of the rooms. They were kind of you could look in
Like
them from the
corner.
hallways, but
Sure.
mm.
That makes sense.
All right, Eastern State.
Eastern State 10, let's go.
This 11-acre prison was in operation from 1829 until 1971. During the time of its operation, it was home to thousands of incarcerated individuals, including some very famous ones like our aforementioned Al Capone. At one point, it was considered part of a revolutionary prison model that I think like the penitentiary idea was about penance and rehabilitating people, but it ultimately became known for harsh conditions faced by the residents.
Yeah.
It's it's a place. Like it is the vibe is heavy.
Yeah. It's a weird place. And it's
And
huge.
it's the last time I was there just a couple years ago and we got lost. Like I was like, how the heck do I get out of here?
Hmm. It's so big.
And everything just starts to look the same after a while.
Yes, that's very true. Everything is very, it's on like spokes, I think, if I
Yeah, it's
remember.
like there's like five,
Spokes that come out from a center.
yes, more or less.
Yeah.
So this is a place that frequently makes the top lists of haunted locations in the US, understandably. And there have been a steady stream of paranormal reports since at least the 1940s. And they have only seemed to escalate since it closed in the 70s. So the following, I feel like I'm reading a weather alert. The following types of phenomenon are reported. Apparitions, poltergeist activity, disembodied voices and screams, disembodied footsteps, and several visitors have allegedly been physically attacked by unseen forces.
That did not
Yay.
happen when I visited.
Yay. You were not
Yay.
you were not attacked by unseen forces.
I would like, if it's okay, to shout out Eastern State Pen.
It's a really cool it's like a prison museum. It's really cool.
It's a really, really, really good museum. And they talk about at the end, there's a small building that's like an outbuilding that you can go into that's like a more modern,
Mm-hmm.
like a prison you walk through, but then this is like a modern exhibition.
Mm-hmm.
And or a modern exhibit, I guess I should say, not exhibition. And they talk about like different prison systems throughout like
Yes. Yes.
America,
Yeah.
and they talk about like I think over in Europe and Canada and those
Mm.
type of places, as well as like the Middle East, and they kind of compare and contrast everything. And they also, this really hit me when I was there. Sorry, I'm going on a whole thing. I
You're
love
good.
museums. They had a wall where you could write anonymously, you could write down crimes that if you committed them and put them on a side of like I was caught and this was my punishment for
Oh
it, like have,
yes, I did see that.
yeah. And that was fascinating to me because it was like some of the things that people said they did and they just never they got away with it was like whoa. But then on vice versa, people were sent to prison for crazy charges. Like that it was maybe we need to rethink this a little bit.
Well,
It did a really good job of making you think.
and like not to get too because we don't get very political on this podcast,
Oh, no, no, no.
but just from my line of work, people get more time incarcerated for substance charges than they
Yeah.
do for assaulting minors.
Yeah. Which is messed up. But yeah, they do a really, really good job of, first of all, explaining the prison itself historically, but also just making you think about like, what are we doing when we send people to prison? Who is this actually helping? Is it actually helping? What
Mm,
constitutes being locked up? So
mm.
it's excellent. So if you get a chance, even if you're not into like the paranormal side of
Yeah,
it,
they do a great job of education.
yes. And if you are interested in the haunting side of it, I think they also like offer like regular
Ghost
investment.
tours or investigations, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They have a really well-known haunted house. My brother has gone to their haunted attraction a couple of, I don't like as much as I love horror movies and stuff, I do not go to like any of the haunted house
Yeah.
things because I'm afraid I will punch someone.
Like
Like Field of Screams or Jason's Woods.
yeah, I was gonna say like Kim's Crypt, like those type
Mm.
of like they pop up around Halloween.
Mm. 'Cause I'm afraid I would punch someone.
That's fair. I never
I
used to want to go to those, and now I kind of do.
I have
As
no
I'm getting
desire.
older.
No
I
desire.
feel like I'll go once and be like, just kidding, I never want to do this
This is the
again.
worst escape room ever.
Yes.
All right, so we got one more haunted location, and then we're gonna get into just a little bit of psychology-ish stuff, and then I have two encounters.
Cool.
All right, so our last place is a pretty short one. It's Fort Mifflin. This is a Revolutionary War fort located near Philadelphia. And Once again, the following phenomenon has been reported: ghostly figures, including a screaming woman and soldiers, and they are said to roam the grounds.
Oh,
Screaming woman.
yeah, that's where my brain got stuck too.
Don't know what she's
What?
screaming about.
I was gonna say, why is she screaming? I don't like that.
All right.
Oh,
So, one of my sources went into kind of psychological and cultural appeal of ghost stories, and I thought was really interesting. So, I'm going to give a little bit of a TLDR. This was the lawyer site.
oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
So, basically, they said, especially in historical cities like Philly, it can be a way to honor the history while also providing entertainment. Because who doesn't love a good ghost story? And ghost stories can also bring people comfort as they do imply that there's life after death, and we can connect with loved ones after death as well.
That's fair.
Any thoughts on
That's
that?
it makes sense. I don't know how I feel. It makes sense, like the life after death. It
Mm,
does imply that there is life and we can connect to those. That also kind of makes me sad because a lot of these hauntings you hear about,
they're
now
not
not saying
happy.
that they're not, a lot of them aren't like a screaming woman or like a child, like a
Mm,
some of them not aren't always malicious intent,
mm.
but like, I don't know if I want to think about my loved one screaming beyond the grave.
No,
But yeah, it's interesting.
it is. All
We
right.
we talked about that a little bit in your episode with the with scary ghost stories
Oh,
around
yeah.
Christmas time. We just love telling a ghost story.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, we as humans, I mean you and I too. But
All right. So, you want to go to Reddit?
yeah, let's hit it.
So, I have two encounters from our paranormal. They're both Eastern State, I believe.
Okay.
So, this comes from a user lowercase x, uppercase Z, Patriot, uppercase Z, uppercase X, lowercase x.
The Patriot Z.
Yeah. So their encounter starts with a little bit of backstory about Eastern State. I'm not going to read that part because we already know it, but they were on a tour and then they kind of got themselves a little bit separate from the rest of the tour.
Okay.
So, and I quote, we moved on the death row cell block. For those unfamiliar, this is a two-story cell block detached from the main spokes of the cell blocks at Eastern State Penitentiary. It's rumored to be pretty active and it was well lit. And there was a group inside when we arrived, so we waited for them to move on and walked in. You come in the door, and there's a staircase that's fenced off to the upstairs section, and then one row of cells that is again fenced off. My girlfriend, who's skeptical, and I were the only ones in the building at the time, and I began taking photos through the fence when we both heard what sounded like a gag, cough, choke coming from the area of back right cells. We both looked at each other. She said, well, I think it's time to leave.
Yep.
Yeah, I took a second to wait. No one was coming into the building. There was noise from people walking past. However, you could tell the direction of the noise was to the left outside of the windows. And they took a picture, which I didn't click on because I'm afraid to click on pictures in Reddit.
Oh, that's fair.
I wouldn't call it concrete evidence, and I don't have a recording of what I heard, but I thought I would share my experience anyway and encourage any of you in Philly to check out Eastern State Penitentiary for yourself. It's interesting.
It is to hear something like that on death row, the death row block. Ugh. Also, I don't like it like it was in the back right corner. That feels like it was trying to draw you in.
I come back here with candy.
Yeah, yeah, really. Well, especially if they were like choking, that would make me instantly think like, oh gosh, I think is someone back there? Are
Mm.
they okay? I kind of want to, can I click the link and I kind of want to be dangerous and click on
Go
this
ahead.
picture?
It's long.
Oh, it took me to Imgur. Ah, that's a scary picture.
Is it scary?
It doesn't have anything that I can see in it, like haunting wise, but it's a picture of the hallway, which is scary. Just the
Unsettling?
right. It's very, yes, it's very unsettling. But it's like I'll describe it. It's a cement floor and the kind of looks like a low ceiling. The left side of the hallway is tiled up to a set of windows. The tiles go a little over halfway up the wall, and then it's a bunch of windows that kind of look like they're tarped over. And then on the right side, you can just see openings of cell blocks. You can't really see into them because it's fenced off. I think the person probably like stuck their hand through
Mm,
the gate and took the picture. But it does not look like a pleasant place. It's very beige and drab, and it almost looks like it was taken with a camera flash on. So this is this like
mm.
really harsh, like white light that's making it look even scarier.
Well, Eastern State in general does look very scary because a lot of the stuff the cells are also falling apart.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Also, something about Eastern State that I knew before taking the tour, but then they reiterated it on the tour that I have to put into other people's brain because it scares me. They would make you be completely silent.
Yes, because part of like the whole penitive thing with
Right.
penitentiary
They,
penance.
right. I think to the point, if I remember, they would even muffle your shoes if you were
Hmm.
walking around. And they didn't want you to see where you were going when they walked you around. So they would put like bags over people's heads, which that's terrifying to me.
So
Like,
people would be discombobulated if they tried to escape.
hmm I feel like I remember that. If that's incorrect, I am apologize. But I very, very specifically remember the silence thing because just sitting there, like when I was in that museum,
Hmm.
thinking about this is just creepily silent, that would drive you nuts to just to the point of insanity, I feel. Anyway,
Yeah,
had
that's
to put
not.
that.
So we have one more encounter. Innovastars is the user, and I'm going. It's also from our paranormal. And quote starts now. About a month ago, my fiance, then boyfriend, and I went to Philadelphia for a couple of days for a fun trip. We live not far from the area. One of the places I wanted to stop at after finding out that it was right in the city was Eastern State Penitentiary. So we leave for the trip, and the rest of the trip goes fantastic and is a wonderful time. But the morning before we were supposed to go to the penitentiary, I got this foreboding sense that this is going to change me slash something is going to happen.
Ooh,
We happened to find a tarot deck at the table during breakfast.
okay.
Yep. I do tarot readings and have a deck at home, so I went to do one for fun. The devil card was flying out of the deck to the point where he and I are both the fiance, not the devil, where he and I are both crawling around on the floor looking for what came out. It was eerie, but I just let it pass. When we got to the prison, we did the audio tour, but managed to catch a special side tour where they let us into the office portion that is now off limits. The tour guide started talking, and I started getting the worst headache and feeling lightheaded as soon as the tour guide started talking about this man who was an artist. I wonder if it was our friend from Hex Hollow.
Oh, maybe.
Anyways, not he's not actually our friend.
Yes.
He was one
Not
of he was one of the people.
wasn't he one of the murderers?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the kid who was kind of like groomed
Oh,
into it.
the corruption of a minor, I think
Yep.
was landed on. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, so the headache went away as soon as we left the area and the tour ended. In the operating room, I had my back to the wall and felt like someone pushed me into the point where I stepped forward, thinking someone was trying to pass behind me, or it was my fiance behind me touching me. I
Hmm,
turned and he was standing a good 2 feet away in another portion of the room. Midway
hmm.
through our audio tour, we were in the speaker's room with a bunch of different voices of prisoners. I have long curly hair, and I felt someone touch my back and pull on my hair, which was up in a ponytail. I turned back to my fiance, who was standing behind me, asking if he felt that. He said he just got chills like a burst of cold in front of him. I am definitely convinced someone or something stepped in between us to pull on my hair. Maybe a curious prisoner. It's been months now since our visit. He is not a huge believer in the paranormal or supernatural, but even he said his experience with this trip was strange and unexplainable. I find this one less believable than the other one.
Yeah.
The timeline changed,
Yeah.
and the tarot deck thing
I know. I don't know how I feel about the tarot deck.
just happened to be on the breakfast table.
Well, again, I'm not a practitioner of anything, so like if this is completely wrong, yell at me. I feel like I've read something before in passing about like if you're picking up a new tarot deck or you're using someone else's tarot deck, you should cleanse it somehow.
Knock 3 times.
Knock three. Is that actually?
Well, that's generally like before people do a reading, they knock 3 times to like
Oh,
get
I did
the
not know that.
but yeah,
Interesting.
you can cleanse it, or even if like you're supposed to knock 3 times to like do something.
Okay, because like
I'm
what
not a
I
practitioner either, but from a little bit I know.
right is what I remember reading was like you don't know what energy is already in those cards from like other people doing readings, and you don't want it to affect yours.
Also, the more quote unquote scary cards in the decks don't always mean what you think they mean.
I was actually going to ask that too, because I know there's a card that is death, but
It's a
that
new
doesn't
beginning.
mean, right. It doesn't mean you're going to die. It means
Hmm.
something changing. It's,
Hmm.
a transition. So I
Hmm.
don't know what the devil means. I don't know what most of them mean.
Some of it's up to interpretation. I don't know exactly what the other meanings of the devil are. If I had to guess, it would be like it might be something negative, but it also might be something that's more tied into like f freedom from current restraints.
Okay. That.
Because like the tower is another card that people get really sketched out about.
Mhm.
But generally, the tower is things changing. The hanged man is seeing something from a different perspective.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting.
All right, so pop culture, the biggest thing I can think of is The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
Have you seen that movie?
I've not seen it, but isn't that the one? It's spoilers, potentially.
Little boy.
And he's like, I see dead people.
Yeah,
They're everywhere. Is
yeah,
that the one?
yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, okay.
I thought you said girl, and I'm like, nope, it's not girl. It's yeah, the little boy. Um,
There is a movie where like, isn't it a little girl? And there's like,
Poltergeist.
is that what she's like, they're
That's
here.
Poltergeist. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Anyway.
But like it takes place in a lot of historical buildings in Philly, and some of the ghosts are in historical places. And
Oh, cool. I'd like to watch that one. I know that's like a classic.
I don't think it's very scary.
Yeah, I've heard it's honestly not.
We need to see if I can find it on a streaming service at some point.
Yes.
Do you
All
have
right.
any closing thoughts before we get to the questions?
I'm not surprised Philadelphia's haunted, not even a little bit. And I just want to reiterate again, go visit Eastern State Penn because it's a really awesome museum. They do a fantastic job.
Do you think the
And
ghosts also riot
I imagine, yeah. I mean, especially if they're stuck there,
as well?
like they might as well. What's going
Like
to happen?
everyone else is tearing down lampposts, they might as well too.
Oh boy. Shall we go to questions?
Yep.
Huh? Okay. What drew you to this topic?
I figured it would be a good episode for July since Independence Day is in July and a lot of things for the revolution happened in Philadelphia. And I've been kind of on a haunting kick, so I might have to take a breather from that soon. But I've
Okay.
been doing this is like my third haunting episode this year.
Yeah, we love a haunting.
Yeah.
Was there
My
anything you?
fourth,
Oh, it's your fourth.
Amityville.
Oh, Amityville. That's right. Yeah. Was there anything you wish you could have researched more into?
All of these could be their own episode. I just didn't want to go too in depth because they could all be their own episode.
Yeah. So, listeners, strangers, if there's anything you want us to talk more about, hit us up.
Exactly.
What did you find the most strange about this topic?
The supposed murder in the Betsy Ross house.
Okay.
It's like
I
my brain has a hard time thinking that's not a wives' tale, but it seems like it was real.
I would like to dig more into that. I
Mm.
think I'm really curious about that. And if it was 1980s, unless
There
it
should be
was
a
just,
police reports.
yeah, that's not that long ago.
I didn't dive super deep into it, so it could be fake.
Yeah. For me, I know this is not me, my episode, but like Ben Franklin just dancing in the streets.
Oh yeah, that's a little odd.
He's just singing in the rain.
It doesn't surprise me. I don't know.
Oh
So
boy.
that makes sense for Philadelphia.
It does. It checks out.
I bet he does the dancing when they win things.
Yes, yeah.
When the Phillies or the Eagles win, that is when he dances. I don't care if that's not true. It's true now.
It's canon now. Well, does this wrap up our discussion about hauntings in
It
Philadelphia?
does.
Woo! Good job.
Woo. Well, strangers, it's time for us to part ways.
Until we meet again, watch out for dancing statues.
We just can't get away from them.
We can't.
We'll be back again soon with another something strange.
We did it.
It's hard when it's,
It's hard over Zoom. We did it though.
yes.
We did an awesome job.